Hello out there in internet land. This is episode 10 of the Stop the Damn Match Wrestling podcast. I'm your host, Phil Lamington. Sit to my left is a man who thinks that Omos is the greatest wrestler of all time. JB, how are you, my friend?
Don't need to think it when I know it. Technical brilliance, man, once again on display tonight. You all should be jealous. Bret Hart should be taking notes if he wasn't too concussed.
And on my right is a man who thinks that Bobby Lashley is the greatest wrestler of all time.
Compared to Omos, anyone is the best wrestler of all time.
Professor Shea, how are you, my friend?
Better than Johnny B, apparently.
I'm fine. I'm good.
So, we just sat through WWE Wrestlemania Backlash. I'm just going to call it Backlash because I really cannot be fucked sitting here calling it Wrestlemania Backlash because Vince McMahon is a overthinking twat. So, Backlash. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
It was entertaining.
Not as good as Mania, but still pretty good.
It was never supposed to be as good as Mania.
But, I mean, it came in at less than 3 hours, which is a blessing for this type of pay-per-view. It only had, 6 matches on the card.
And most of them were decent.
Yeah, they weren't like squash matches other than Omos versus Lashley, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So we're going to talk about the first match. Now, we're not going to do the blow-by-blow and go through everything that goes on. If you want that, you go watch Wrestling with Regret or someone else who gets paid to do this shit.
What culture?
Them too.
Yeah.
Simon Miller.
Shout out to the boys at What Culture and shout out to Wrestling with Regret. I know they don't watch us, but at least someone can go and tell them, hey, someone from Australia recognised you bastards.
Simon Miller, if you're watching this, give me an up.
So the first match on the card was Cody Rhodes versus Seth freaking Rollins. Now, in my notes, I wrote down that I thought it was a solid action-packed opener. It got the crowd hot for the rest of the show, which is what you want for an opening match.
Yeah, get them hyped.
And these two really do have really good chemistry in the ring. It's very rarely a dull moment, and they really kept the momentum that they had at WrestleMania going with this match. And the end of the match, Cody Rhodes won via pinfall, but he reversed a roll-up that Seth Rollins had where he was holding Cody's tights. He reversed the roll-up and was holding Seth's tights to get the win, which means they're going to have one more match at Hell in a Cell. But Cody Rhodes gets the big W. I gave this match 4.5 out of 5. What are your thoughts, Dr. Sheamus?
Yeah, I'd agree with your 4.5 rating. 4.5 or 4?
4.5.
4.5. Yeah, I'd agree with a 4.5 there. It was a brilliant match. Probably equal best match of the night. Solid action throughout the whole thing. I wasn't bored at all. Crowd was super hot, straight up, which is what you want for a match like that. I mean, it's Seth Rollins and Cody fucking Rhodes. I mean, they can do no wrong at the moment, especially. Cody's always entertaining, and Seth can just keep going and going and going. Give him an hour-long Iron Man match. I reckon they'll even make that entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely brilliant.
Yeah, you gave it 4.5?
Yeah.
Yep. How about you, JB?
Yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5, man. I missed WrestleMania, like all of it, so I didn't see that first match. But, you know, Seth Rollins has always been a brilliant technical wrestler, you know, since day one. And now Cody Rhodes is back in the E, back in the Fed, you know, seeming like he's got a point to prove, like he wants to be a main eventer again. You know, he left AEW for whatever reason, and now he's back in WWE, you know, wrestling with some big names and wrestling really well. Really well and really technical, and they complemented each other brilliantly. It was a outstanding start to the show. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed both those guys going at it. It was a really good match, yeah.
It felt like Oh, sorry, Shay. I'll just get my point through and then you can
Yeah.
get yours one. This felt like WWE pay-per-views of old where they actually had an opening match that got the crowd hot. And it really was like every match after that, that match was the benchmark. They were going to be below it and crap. Or they'd have to try really hard to better it. Because for a long time there, they'd stick whatever bullshit match on first. And no matter how bad the next match was, it couldn't be any worse than the first match.
They should have started with Omos then.
But it's nice to see that they actually want to get the fans hot for the show. I think that it is WWE finally now taking AEW seriously, that they're like, even on pay-per-view or special event or premium event, whatever the fuck spin they want to call it, they actually do have to lift their game now. So you were going to say something, Shay?
Oh no, I already made my point. It was just a Omos comment.
Oh, okay.
Sneaky jabs.
So you've got a 4, and we've both gone 4.5. Right. Unfortunately, the next match was Omos versus Bobby Lashley. What idiot keeps booking this shit? Yes, we know it's Vince McMahon.
6 stars, just saying it right now.
Look, in my notes, I wrote down that this match is the equivalent of Old Yeller.
Take it behind the shed and put a bullet in between its eyes.
Pretty much. They both looked lost. Like, there's no chemistry between them. Even Bobbly.
Bubbly.
Have another glass of the bubbly.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. Bobby Lashley looked lost. Like, he didn't know what he was doing. And typically in matches, from what I've seen of, like, Stone Cold Steve Austin talking about it on his podcast, normally the heel is the guy who controls the match and calls the spots and everything. When you've got someone who is the equivalent of a lump of coal in the ring, like Omos.
Which one are you talking about?
Wow, this got racist fast. We just got kicked off YouTube. Thanks, JB.
You're the one calling them lumps of coal.
No, but I meant it figuratively. I wasn't talking about his bloody skin colour.
So did I. Which lump of coal are you referring to? Because neither
Omos.
of them can fucking...
I do
Go
not endorse
real well.
anything these two are saying.
It's just Omos couldn't find his ass with 2 hands and a fucking compass.
And Lashley wasn't that much better.
Yeah.
I think it's just Lashley didn't know what the fuck to do with him because he's so big he can't really throw him that
He's
much.
so big and he's so fucking green. Like, Lashley struggles to carry a match as is. And you've got fucking this big green lump of coal that you're trying to throw around, and he's like half mistiming moves. And
He's gassed half the time. He doesn't know what he's doing in the ring. And some idiot went, gee, let's not send him to NXT so he can learn his craft. Let's just stick him on the main roster and stink up the place.
he's like Great Khali, but at least he can bend his fucking knees.
I was going to say, at least Great Khali can fucking, do a tree trunk slam and shit. Omos is just like, look, I'm big. That's all I
I'm
can
big.
do.
Well, I'm big, but not athletically big like Brock Lesnar or Big Show or
If AJ,
someone of that caliber. I'm just big and big slow, and
if AJ fucking Styles can't make you look good,
AJ
nobody can.
fucking carried him for so long.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
they had a match on a house show when they broke them up. And it was so bad that they cancelled the entire feud.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
If AJ Styles cannot polish this turd, what the fuck is he still doing on the roster? Why has he not been future endeavored?
Yeah, has Omos survived? I don't think he will for long though.
Because he's
If that's his
7'3".
if they're giving him the fucking benefit of the doubt for this long, and he's not delivering even remotely fucking anything, it won't be long till he's future endeavored. Surely.
It's because he's 7'3" and they don't have any other monster role.
Shaquille
that they
O'Neal
can-
could probably wrestle better than him. Get
Yeah, but
fucking
he's-
Shaq in.
He's wrestled for fucking AEW recently.
Yeah, but I
That's
mean,
true.
they had Big Show a couple of years ago and they let him go.
Big Show
No,
was
Big Show
fucking
asked to leave.
jacked.
Big Show asked to leave and then went to fucking AEW.
Yeah. You know, maybe
This is what happens when you cut all your fucking talent and you're left with the dregs. Oh, we don't have a fucking monster anymore because Braun's gone and Bray Wyatt's gone.
Kane's retired.
Yeah.
Kane's retired. It's like, fuck me, what do we have in the way of a monster now? Fucking Omos. Who can't wrestle.
General Aziz.
Exactly.
General Aziz is
Didn't he?
he's the guy who's with what's his name? Apollo Crews.
Apollo Crews.
Who? No, I know Apollo Crews. He was with that gay guy for a while. Damien.
No, that's Titus O'Neil.
Oh, damn, they all look
He's still on the roster.
Yeah,
Titus O'Neil.
yeah, but Titus O'Neil's good for outside stuff, like representative stuff.
He's like
That's
an ambassador or
Yeah.
Do they want a wrestler or do they want a promo guy?
Well, they get neither with fucking Omos.
That's why he's with MVP.
Yeah. Who also can't carry him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad.
Oh, it's cringe. It's absolute cringe. The only thing they can do with Omos is get Taker to teach him. That's the only thing they can do now.
Get John Gonzalez to teach him.
Is he still alive?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think he is. So, my third note about this match, well, we've just said it. Omos sucks. Omos wins via pinfall and puts everyone out of the fucking misery of this match. This was worse than their WrestleMania match. I've still given it -4 out of 5. JB, tell us. Talk to the people, dude.
5 out of 5. Absolute brilliant technical masterclass from Omos. I've never seen Bobby Lashley manhandled the way he was. Ex-MMA fighter, collegiate wrestler, fucking Olympic caliber fucking athlete, completely demolished by this monster. This absolute Goliath of a man,
Gladiator of a man.
which WWE is pushing to the moon. And rightly so, because he's the best monster heel I've seen since Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman and probably even 1998 Kane. Like, let's be honest. I've never seen greatness like this in a long, long time.
I hate all of this.
Over to you, Dr. Jameis.
I give a -5 stars. 6 if I fucking could. Good God. This was the worst match I've seen all year, and that's saying something.
It was worse than their WrestleMania match.
It was worse than any Carmella match.
I didn't see their WrestleMania
God.
match, but
Oh, Jesus. So you're saying this match was worse than Queen Charmel versus Jenna Maraska?
Absolutely.
Oh,
That's one for you, Shogs.
So you're going -6 stars.
-6 stars. Worst match I've seen.
You're
in
giving
a
it
long
5
time.
out of 5.
Yeah.
Pure classic.
instant catch as catch can. Bret Hart, take notes.
If you want to piss break, guys, this is the match.
Nah, in all generous, it was fucking atrocious. I didn't see their WrestleMania match, and it sounds like I didn't fucking miss much. Nah, Omos is real green and real big and real slow. And
Honestly, I haven't seen grass as green as him.
And it's been raining for the past 3 days.
Yeah.
Omos is so green, I haven't seen grass like that. It's been fucking torrential raining for the last week.
No, that's my point.
No. Omos needs help quickly.
Or a bullet. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
A bullet.
Yeah.
Put him out of our misery. Future endeavour him. Jog him on. Put some... I mean, you got fucking... What's his name? Mace? Mace?
Mace Windu?
No, Mace.
Mace from Retribution.
From Retribution.
Didn't they get let go as well?
No. He's with LA Knight.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got T-Bar, who used to be Dominic Dijakovic.
Yeah.
And they're doing nothing with him.
I thought they got let go.
Push him. No, he's still around. Push him to the moon. No, they let go of Dexter Loomis.
Which, good God, there's a monster you could have used.
We couldn't see anything. Vince couldn't see any use of him on the main roster.
You need a monster. He played a awesome monster
He's
in
a
NXT.
fucking psychopath.
Exactly.
Or if you give him personality, he had that look in his eyes like he was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, the blue eye, like stone cold stare.
And
I
yet,
remember that.
and he had that creepy way of walking on his knuckles. And yet, you future endeavoured him, and we've still got Omos.
He had like the builder hiding rack. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
well,
old
look,
Heidenreich.
Heidenreich, Snitsky, they're both better than this plank of shit. Oh, my God.
Umanga.
Even he was crap.
Was he
Umaga was crap.
though? Was he though?
Yes. Don't give me that he's related to Roman Reigns, so he's good by proxy. He wasn't.
He is good by proxy.
No, he wasn't.
He also beat Bobby Lashley.
Good for him.
No, wait, he lost to Bobby Lashley, I think.
Yeah, he lost to Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, and Vince got his head shaved. And then
Yeah, Battle of
he
Billionaires.
beat up Bobby Lashley in a match, but Vince pinned him and won the ECW title.
So by proxy, he's better than Bobby Lashley.
No, he isn't.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, well, fucking
So he's as good
Brock-
as Omos.
Brock Lesnar's better than Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar's better than most people, though.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar would beat a lot of people in real life.
Drew is better than Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
Brock
I never
Lesnar puts
said-
on technical,
Why are we-
classical matches, okay?
Why are we dragging?
Yeah.
Just appreciate what you've got in Omos before you lose it, right?
Moving on.
Which is what? A punching bag?
Technical brilliance.
Oh, he does an amazing arm drag. Like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
He does that like really slow, cumbersome, like hip toss thing.
No, that's him just getting into the ring.
Oh. My mistake.
Moving right along. The next match was AJ Styles versus Edge, and Damian Priest was barred from ringside. Well, it wasn't a slow match, but it wasn't exactly a zippy, fast-paced one either.
Look, that's a fair point, but I saw a photo on like Facebook, and it's like it was AJ when he was flipping off the ring and Edge was about to catch him, and it's like the guy on the air is 47 years old, the guy about to catch him is 52. Let's be fucking reasonable. These boys are maybe 10 years past their operating prime, but
Oh.
still putting on fucking phenomenal matches.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
It was. I wasn't saying that in terms of like having a knock on them. It was much like their match at WrestleMania. It was a more slower, sort of deliberate match. Like,
I mean, imagine if this match happened in like 2010 or some shit.
Put him through a table.
Imagine like 2010 AJ and fucking world heavyweight champion fucking Edge.
Fucking X Division match.
yeah,
It would have been fucking brilliant though, right? Like,
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
they would have fucking tore the house down. But I mean, you know, 10 years later, 15 years later, still fucking
It's just a more methodical.
good output.
Yeah.
And they're both in phenomenal shape.
Well, it did pick up when Damian Priest came out, and then Finn Balor jumped him from behind.
That's
The
meant to be.
ending, the ending was shit.
It's meant to be fucking banned from ringside, and he still rocks up.
And he still got
Come
in the
on.
fucking ring.
But he did actually say, like, when he came out, he got to the end of the entranceway ramp, and he stopped, and he was standing there, and everyone's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm not in the ring.
Yeah, but
I'm not at
then
ringside."
Finn Balor jumped him, and he got pushed in the ring anyway.
And the referee, I was waiting for the referee to disqualify him, but that didn't happen.
And then a shadowy figure in a hood jumped up and pushed AJ off the top rope.
It was Vince McMahon.
It was Amos.
It's me, Austin.
It's me,
It was
Austin.
General Aziz. No, it turned out to be Rhea Ripley, who is now the third member of Judgment Day, which is Edge's new
pay-per-view?
faction.
The pay-per-view?
No, it's the faction. That's the name of Edge's new faction, Judgment
They
Day.
couldn't just name themselves Judgment?
Or The Brood.
Or The Brood?
yeah.
I told you I was getting Brood vibes from this
Yeah.
new Edge thing.
Yeah.
He reminded me of like Gangrel, but instead of being like white vampire, he was...
Unfortunately, I got spoiled with this bit. Out of that 1.5 seconds that I went onto Facebook, that was the first thing I seen was Rhea's face.
If you
Bef-
don't want spoilers on pay-per-view
Yes, I
day,
shouldn't go on it.
don't go on social media.
Particularly Instagram.
Although,
Stay
to
off
be
Insta.
fair, we fucking pushed this back like 2 days.
We
so
did.
Yeah, well, we had that really important Formula One to
That
do. So,
Brilliant.
oh, yeah.
The Miami Grand Prix, which was as good as Omos versus Lashley.
From the Miami International Autodrome.
If you have to flip a drone, a coin, you get to watch the Miami Grand Prix, or you have to watch Lashley versus Omos back for as long as the Grand Prix ran, which is an hour and a half. So you're going to have to watch it 3, 4, 5 times.
I'd watch the F1.
Yeah, okay. I had to throw that out there.
The match finished with Edge making AJ Styles pass out, so he won by submission. I gave the match 3.5 stars out of 5.
No TKO or KO.
Yeah.
Technical
he
submission
passed
in
out.
the UFC world.
Yeah.
What would you give it, Seamus?
I give it a 3.5. It's pretty solid. Not the best match from those two. I think they had a better showing at Mania before the interference. Even though you still got interference fucking this one anyway. Not as good, but still good. That, as JB said, they're still awesome wrestlers.
Yeah.
Just a bit more methodical with Edge's pace because he is older and, of course, his neck too. They still have to be a bit cautious. But, yeah, AJ, it's fucking AJ Styles. You can't put on a bad match.
Unless it's with Omos.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the pair of them are very solid in-ring mechanics.
And going back to when Rhea was revealed there, that could have been one or two people what I would have guessed if I wasn't spoiled. Either her or Nikki. Both would have been great choices for that.
Or Liv Morgan.
Liv at the moment is better as a face, I think.
Yeah.
But Nikki turning back to normal Nikki instead of being her bloody superhero gimmick. Definitely like to see her come back to that crazy gimmick.
Nikki's working on being in a tag team with Doudrop.
Yeah, and she, from what I've seen with those two, Doudrop was hinting towards her changing. So maybe she's going to lose the mask and go back to that crazy Nikki.
Yeah, I've got no problem with that. JB, what were your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, I was going to give it a 4, but the ending fucked it, so I'm giving it a 3. Which makes me look forward to their inevitable match at Hell in a Cell, where Damian Priest can't get involved at fucking all.
I actually think it's going to be a 6-man at the next pay-per-view.
Fucking hope not. Just have Edge and AJ with no interference.
No, it'll be Edge, Damian, and Rhea Ripley versus AJ, Finn Balor, and Liv Morgan.
Ooh.
Yeah, right.
And I honestly would like to see AJ and Finn Balor form their own...
Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's going to be the leader, though? Because they're both leaders. AJ?
Don't need a leader.
It's the Bullet Club. They're going to have a fucking leader.
I don't want them to call it the club, though, or Bullet Club, or anything like that. I'd really like them to dig out the silver and black NWO logo and actually call them NWO.
They'll call it the Balor Club, like they did before. 100%.
Yeah, but black and silver NWO. I mean, it lasted in WCW for like a month before Brett got knocked out. Yeah, and everyone else got fucking injured, and it all fell apart. And
I doubt they'll bring, unfortunately, NWO back for quite a while because Scott Hall.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but
Right, we get to the next match, which was for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and it was an I Quit match between the champion Charlotte Flair and the challenger this year's Royal Rumble winner, Ronda Rousey. It was a pretty brutal match. Like, weapons came out, the kendo sticks and all that bizzo. Early on, Ronda took a German suplex from Charlotte Flair. That was one of the most brutal German suplexes I've seen anyone take.
She had a broken neck.
Yeah, that was like on the head.
Yeah. I mean, she's probably used to getting German suplexed around a ring, like from her UFC days.
Not really. She's the judoka. She was the one throwing them on their heads, but...
Oh, that's right. She couldn't take a punch to the face. That's right.
Yeah, once she stopped using her judo and tried to be entertaining by using her fists and then realised she couldn't box that well, that's when the downhill slide started.
She woke up real quick.
I mean,
she got knocked out
she
real
went
quick.
to sleep real
She
quick.
went to sleep real quick.
I mean, go back and watch that Amanda Nunes fight. It's fucking brutal. And they were going to feed her to Cyborg. Wow.
And Pat McAfee on commentary was on fire, highlighting Charlotte's dad, Ric Flair. And there was a kid dressed in the front row as the Fiend. So highlighted, there's the Fiend.
Yeah, Pat McAfee just commentating. Like, fuck.
And it's good to hear it, though.
He's just like these people who you're trying to like blackball from the company who made the company what it is in whatever small or big part. I'm going to stop saying their fucking name. And just throwing out fucking crippler crossfaces for fuck's sake.
Oh, he's been doing that for a long time, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but fucking everyone with half a brain.
And that is a nod to him, too.
It's Benoit, man.
But the match finished with Ronda Rousey slapping an armbar onto Charlotte Flair through the seat of a chair.
Definitely the most innovative use of a chair that I've seen for quite a while.
After Charlotte Flair insults her by saying, this is your last chance. Oh, by the way, happy Mother's Day. And that just woke her up, pulled her arm through, slapped on the armbar, and then eventually she got on the microphone and said, you don't quit. I was praying on that, and then really reefed it in, and that's when Charlotte quit.
She nearly turned it into like a Kimura lock inside the chair, which looked like it hurt. Like, there's not really many ways you can fake your arm getting contorted like that.
She was actually bending it, though.
Yeah, but as in
She wasn't bending
the
it the
other way.
wrong way.
Yeah, but still.
But so Ronda Rousey makes Charlotte say, I quit, and Ronda Rousey is now the SmackDown Women's Champion. I gave the match 4 out of 5. I thought it was a pretty solid match, and it made up for the absolute clusterfuck that there was their match at WrestleMania. Like, that was so much better. Because their match at Mania was just clunky and awful. And like most of the other women's matches at WrestleMania, they were all clunky and awful too. JB, what were your thoughts on that match?
Yeah, 4 out of 5. I thought it was brilliant. They did everything they could. They went into the crowd. They fucking used chairs and kendo sticks and fucking, they were everywhere. They were up the ramp, down the ramp, in the ring, in
And
the
a
crowd.
bicycle.
And a bicycle. No, it was fucking great. I think, and Ronda Rousey coming out as new champion, that's always good. The chair finish was good. Little too much talking, but I guess when the referee's literally holding a microphone, mini promos here and there. But no, real solid match, 4 out of 5, easy, yeah, real good.
I'll give it a 4 stars as well. That was a really good women's match. One of the better ones that I've seen for quite a while. As Phil said, much, much better than the WrestleMania match. The WrestleMania match being clusterfuck. At least with I Quit matches, you can get a bit more creative.
Yeah.
Especially with those two. Charlotte's good. She can carry a match quite well by herself. Ronda's getting better. Getting quite a bit better. Especially tonight. She was doing actually a bunch of other moves that she wouldn't usually do. Plus, she gets extra points for doing a Star Wars pose with the kendo sticks.
Yeah, she did that.
Which Pat McAfee also commented on too.
I think the thing with Ronda Rousey, though, is she needs someone who can be a ring general.
Mm.
Like, she can't call the match. She needs someone to call it for her.
Yeah.
But she is fully capable of making it look real.
Mm. Yeah, she brings an element of legitimacy like Brock Lesnar does.
To the point where Alexa Bliss actually won't work with her.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss has said, no, I will not work with Ronda Rousey because she dumped her on her head a couple of times.
Yeah, she threw her like a fucking rag doll.
Yeah. Which JB wasn't very happy about.
I wasn't very happy with, she's small and fragile. Please
Get it? Because she carried a rag doll.
Yeah. She's still carrying that doll because she returned.
She could be my rag doll.
She's married now.
Fucking God.
Fight him. Fight him for your honour.
Fight him for his honour. I mean, I'm sure everyone in the IWC is really the same way. I saw, I think it was Instagram. She put it up on Instagram. It was like, the wedding day. And I'm like, the amount of people in the internet wrestling community right now that are really like, I could fucking take him. I could fucking him. Yeah. He's nothing special, but good on her. She's happy and good on her. She deserves happiness.
All right. Then we get to the next match.
I forgot what I was thinking about.
Alexa Bliss.
Besides that.
And you missed out with Rhea Ripley too.
That's all right.
She's with Murphy. Murphy.
Buddy
it's
Murphy.
you.
Buddy Murphy goes through Alexa Bliss and then gets Rhea Ripley. Like, he's 2-0, baby.
Working his way through
probably,
the female roster.
I mean, he'll probably wind up 0-2 at the end, but He could always say, I screwed Alexa Bliss and you didn't.
Dude, it's Rhea Ripley. She's tying him up.
That's true. I hope he likes getting pegged.
He isn't complaining.
Just call her mommy.
Anyway, next match.
Or daddy.
next, the next match is Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin. This was a pretty just generic match. That's the only note I've got for it. It's a generic match.
Generic match with a generic storyline. It was very meh.
Could have very easily been on Raw.
Yeah.
Could have been on the kickoff show. Do they do kickoff shows anymore?
I don't know.
If this fucking pay-per-view had a kickoff show, this is where this match belonged.
Premium event.
It didn't even belong on the kickoff show. This was a match that should have just been on SmackDown.
Yeah.
You know, this is a feud no one cares about. You know,
No one cares about Happy Corbin or Madcap Moss, and then put them together, and no one cares even more.
yeah.
It's like, I don't give a shit about either of these guys. The only time I fucking... Baron Corbin's only fucking thing was, like, he had the best entrance music in WWE, and no one had ever kicked out of the End of Days. And then that streak got broken by Drew McIntyre.
At WrestleMania.
And
They fucked off his music.
Happy Corbin hasn't had good entrance music in like 6 months.
And the ending for this match just came out of nowhere. Like, Madcap Moss wins with
Just
a sunset.
just sunset flip pin.
Yeah, sunset flip pinfall, gets the 3, and that's it.
Oh, look, a meh storyline with meh wrestlers and meh match with a meh finish.
Surprise roll up, motherfucker.
Meh.
I still gave it 2.5 out of 5, though.
Better than almost.
There was nothing wrong with the match. It was just nothing memorable about the match.
It's just not interesting.
Yeah,
Everything about it is not interesting.
So I mean, it was okay match. Like, nothing special about it. So I gave it a nothing special score of 2.5. Yeah, Seamus, what are your thoughts?
I give it 2. Like, the finish fell super flat. The build for it, at least it had a build. I'll give it that. That's where it gets the 2. But not very interesting. I mean, Baron Corbin is pretty decent in the ring. That's only because he's super reliable. Madcap Moss I haven't seen too much of, other than, you know, what he's been doing with Baron Corbin.
And his outfit looks stupid.
Yeah, suspenders. Fair enough.
Like, he looks like a fucking lumberjack who got lost.
And then got jacked.
Got jacked.
And then had a shave.
It's just... no. Like, he needs a new gimmick. JB.
Yeah. 2.
$2.99.
2.99. Like fucking... got two wrestlers who need new fucking gimmicks.
Yep.
Both of them. Happy Corbin things fucking run its course. Madcap Moss, I don't even know what he is or who he is or who he's trying to be.
At least Corbin can go back to his lone wolf because now he's...
I'm hoping Baron Corbin just fucking gets angry and sad and he keeps losing matches and he gets madder and madder and madder and then he just fucking comes back as the angry fucking evil lone wolf, starts bashing people, starts fucking just being angry again.
I actually just thought of an idea on how they can fix Baron Corbin. At the draft, ship him to Raw and put him in Judgment Day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
After he's lost a bunch of matches, after he's not Happy Corbin anymore, he's like angry.
He's just Corbin.
Angry, vengeful Corbin.
They lose Baron, it's just Corbin.
No, call him Baron. Call him Baron Corbin.
Call him the Baron.
Baron Samedi?
Yeah. Yo, Baron, I can dig it.
Yeah. Nah.
You were fishing for that.
Flat match, flat build up. Just fucking that whole fucking thing needs a revamp.
Oh, just sweep it under the rug.
Yeah, just fucking like even if that match had happened on SmackDown, it would be no more memorable than it happening on Backlash. No one fucking will remember this match at all.
Right, moving right along. Now we're on the main event. Man, we're whipping through this podcast, man. So we're on the main event, which is RK Bro teaming with Drew McIntyre to take on the Bloodline, which is the Usos and the undisputed Universal WWE World Universal Champion, Roman Reigns.
You forgot to say head of the table.
Tribal Chief.
Yeah, look.
Tribal Chief, head of the table.
Give me your pads.
Undisputed I don't know why he's not undisputed WWE World Heavyweight Champion, because that sounds better.
Because they want to push the word universe, not the world.
What is
World
it?
Heavyweight was Ted Turner's, pal.
Universal champion.
Universe is ours, pal.
Sorry, no, yes, undisputed champion. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, undisputed champion.
They don't need to extend it to 50 fucking words.
Why don't they unify the belt? I thought they were getting a gold belt. I saw a photo, like, it's the WWE Championship, but it's gold and black as the Universal Championship, and there's only one belt.
Well, I was hoping they were actually going to unify the belts, the tag team belts as well, because they don't have enough tag teams to have two separate ones.
I think that'll be at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But, so I thought it was a really interesting six-man tag.
It was.
It really kept the fan interest, and it still kept a lot of heat on Roman Reigns.
Mm.
Yeah, he's still unquestionably the bad guy.
The guy.
I mean,
And-
you've got three legitimate faces against three legitimate heels, so it
Yeah.
wasn't that hard to fucking keep heat on Roman and the Usos.
But he got heat on himself by, he'd get the tag, come in, and then just tag straight back out again.
Bad guy move.
And it also broke up the formula that's been on WWE pay-per-views for a long time of an undercooked main event feud that no one gives a toss about. Like this is actually building towards Drew versus Roman inside Hell in a Cell at the next pay-per-view, and RK Bro versus the Usos to unify the tag titles.
Corner now, Roman will win, and OK Bro will win.
Oh, yeah, I think so too. But yeah, built towards the feuds. And then when the match broke down, like everyone started hitting each other with big moves and that's when the match really kicked into another gear. And it really took off and skyrocketed towards the ceiling. Then at the very finish, so Matt Riddle hit the super RKO on one of the Usos. As old mate was receiving the super RKO, Roman Reigns tagged himself in, ran in, hit the spear on Riddle, got the pinfall, and won for the Bloodline. I gave the match 4.5 out of 5. JB?
Yeah, 4.5, man. Brilliant match. My only gripe was I wanted to see more Randy Orton. Because he was in there for a bit, and he fucking RKO'd everything that fucking moved, and then he was gone. He got like Superman punched on the outside, and that was the end of him, but it feels like everyone got a lot of fucking airtime except Randy, which was disappointing, but, you know, he hit that fucking awesome RKO on Roman, and, you know, he hit fucking a few good RKOs as well, and then, you know, Roman Reigns with the spear at the end was good, you know. Matt Riddle showing that he's fucking highly athletic.
Well, to go back to your point about how Orton wasn't in the match as much as you feel, I think Orton's doing a really good job of stepping back and letting the younger guys actually take the load and let them showcase what they're doing without him having to come along and save the day in terms of a performance.
Yeah, you know, he's in it for the long haul. He said it himself too, like he's saving himself. You know, he's got to be getting up towards the big 5-0 himself, doesn't he?
He's in his 40s, I know that.
Yeah,
much.
he's
Remember, he
probably-
started super young.
Yeah, that's true. He was fucking super young. 20, was
He's
he
the youngest.
24 when he won the title?
Yeah, youngest world
He's
champion
like
in
youngest
history.
world champion ever.
I think he still is.
And he's fucking said he wants to go longer than Taker. Taker did it for 30 years. Orton can't be far off that actually, but
But he's been going for 20.
yeah, well, fucking he says his exact quote was, I want to be the next guy to do it. You know, like Taker did it, longer than Taker.
And not going anywhere else.
Like when Roman Reigns fucks off to do movies, which looks like he's doing. There's fucking rumors that he might not even be around much in summer.
Yeah.
So we could have 4 months without a Universal Champion. Hello, Brock Lesnar.
Not Universal. Undisputed champion.
Yeah,
So he's got
it's
both.
not even. It's just both belts. He's just fucking off with them for the summer. So you know, Roman Reigns is going to be fucking fading out of the picture, doing his own shit, and Randy Orton is pretty much promised for as long as he's not hurt, he's going to be there for as long as he can. So which is fucking awesome because he can still fucking go. But no, it's fucking good. It's, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton's sort of like the old guard at the moment. Even Drew was around. His first run ended rather abruptly, but now that he's back, it's like Randy's sort of mentoring all these boys to keep taking the company forward, especially Roman being the face of the company now, like Randy Orton once was. I think it's a great thing, and I'm just happy to see them all out there at their athletic peak, fucking giving us great matches.
So what did you give it out of 5?
I gave it a 4. I might bump it up to 4.5 actually, because it wasn't a screw ending. So yeah, no, really good, entertaining match, and Matt Riddle's coming along too. Actually, I've had my differences with him, but he's starting to win me over a bit. He's fucking real gifted, real athletic.
Seamus?
I give it a 4. It wasn't as good as the first match, but still pretty damn good. Very entertaining. I wasn't bored throughout the match at all too, which is what you want out of a match. Especially a 6-man, they're really easy to keep the energy going because you just keep tagging in and out.
Yeah.
Roman's always good. He's been improving and is just a mega heel now and really can't be stopped until, I'd say, somebody like Cody Rhodes or someone like that will actually come in and take it off him while Roman has a break eventually, which is what he is after.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely he's planted some seeds for the next pay-per-view with Drew and Roman. As Phil said before, Drew, Roman, and then Usos and OK Bro. They planted some seeds for the next thing, which is what you want out of a premium event.
That's it. You want
Fucking stupid name.
One storyline leading into another. So
exactly.
And the chemistry between all of those guys is fucking brilliant. So.
Yeah, they always have.
And
good chemistry.
that's always going to carry on into the next. Not together obviously as they're two separate matches, but the chemistry is really great between all those guys as well, and that as well keeps it interesting and entertaining. As someone like me who doesn't watch Raw or SmackDown anymore and fucking hasn't for a long, long time, just can't bring myself to fucking watch 3 hours of Raw. 2 hours of SmackDown anymore.
It's a slog.
Fucking tedious. Yeah. It's just good to see these guys being able to tell a fucking story over multiple weeks, multiple months, without it becoming stagnant. So, looking forward to Hell in a Cell already, actually, to be honest.
So before we give the final ranking for the pay-per-view, there was a couple of points you just brought up that we don't actually usually get time to actually discuss, like WWE in general. So I wanted to just make a couple of statements, sort of throw a couple of topics out there. So if Roman Reigns is disappearing, like apparently he is still going to be at Hell in a Cell, Money in the Bank, and SummerSlam, defending the belt.
Yeah.
Now feels like if he's not going to be there, if he's slowing his schedule down, now is the perfect time for the company to start pushing the Intercontinental and US titles.
I agree.
And start treating them like the belts they used to be, where they were the workhorse title belts.
Yeah. I mean, fucking, I went back and I watched WrestleMania 10 like yesterday, the day before. The ladder match with Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon for the Intercontinental title. Like, and that was the second last match before the world title match. And fucking, when's the last time you saw an IC or a US title match that far up the fucking card? Like, they used to be the show opener at Mania.
Yeah.
Used to be either the IC or the US title.
Or the European.
And they were good fucking matches.
Yeah.
I don't even know who has the IC strap or the US strap.
So the United States champion is Austin Theory.
Oh, that's Vince's boy, yeah, right.
Vince's boy.
Yeah, he's got the US title, and I believe Ricochet has got the Intercontinental title.
By the way, it's just Theory. They got rid of Austin Theory.
Yeah, it's Theory.
Fuck me,
Because
dead. Right.
you know,
Because WWE can't even settle on fucking
They
names,
hate
let
first
alone
names.
talent. Yeah, fuck, like, those belts have so much history and prestige, as much as, those belts are older than the Universal Championship. They go back fucking decades. Like, all the great Intercontinental champions we've had,
I mean, Cena had the US title, and he had his open challenges, which actually brought a bit of prestige back to it.
Exactly.
It brought us new talent as well because we
Yeah.
got Kevin Owens and we had Sami Zayn.
Yeah, we had
But
both
Sami
of those
Zayn
guys.
got injured just walking out for the match.
I didn't see Mania, but was either of those fucking belts on the main card?
No,
None of them.
no,
out of the 2
What?
days that it was on.
no.
You had 2 fucking days in a pre-show to fucking, because they're the mid-card titles.
Yep.
You win the IC strap, you're fucking going to the next Mania in the main event. That's usually how it worked. Remember when John Cena won the US belt, and then he lost the US belt, and then he went after fucking JBL at Mania?
Yes.
You
Yep.
know, and fucking the IC champ would fucking lose it in a fucking ladder match or some shit, but then would be challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship. Like
Yeah, well,
fucking,
I mean, SummerSlam in '97 was Owen Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin for the IC strap because that was the match that Owen Hart dropped him on
Broke
his
his
head,
neck,
broke
yep.
his neck.
yep.
And he still retained that Intercontinental title until December that year where he had to relinquish it and he gave it to The Rock
Yep.
because he threw it in the river.
I remember that.
Well, fast forward 3 months later, Austin's won the Royal Rumble and is facing Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 14 for the WWE title.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
his first Rumble win, wasn't it? Austin's.
He won the 97 one, but it was controversial because he'd been eliminated, but the referees didn't see it, and he jumped back in and threw out Bret Hart. Because the main event of WrestleMania that year ended up with Psycho Sid defending the title against The Undertaker, and Taker won the strap. But Bret Hart came out and cut a heel promo before the match, and Shawn Michaels was on commentary. And Bret Hart ripped into Shawn Michaels by saying, "What are you doing here, you faker? Why don't you go home and find your goddamn smile?" And he said, "Taker, you and I have been friends for years, but you slammed your door on me, which meant you slammed the door on our friendship so you can get stood on too." And then looked at Psycho Sid and said, "I've never liked you anyway."
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're not awesome, fuck you.
I'm going to WCW. Fuck you guys.
That was 6 months later.
And then Goldberg's going to kick you in the head.
But I mean, even the US title, like if you were a US champion in WCW, that meant you were going to get a crack at that world title
You're going to get
eventually.
a crack at the gold belt, baby.
You know,
That's your springboard.
yeah.
The IC, and it depended on what brand it was on, because the one brand had the IC and one brand had the US. That's your springboard title, because if you fucking defend that belt a few times, you're going to get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Championship, which is now the Universal or fucking, which probably doesn't work so well, seeing as there's only one champion.
Yeah, well, it was a test to see how they do with a strap being a representative like that, to see how they handle the pressure.
Yeah.
If they handled it well, then they'd be like, okay, you're next in line to go up for a challenge to be number one contender.
Yeah.
Or stuff like that. That was kind of the test.
Well, that was the thing about Razor Ramon. Like, he was a 5-time Intercontinental champion. And I think it was a 2-time United States champion. Never got a run with the big belt. Never. He was only, I think the only world title he won was the AWA World Heavyweight title. That was it.
That's a fucking shame.
But, I mean, Goldust is a 3-time IC champ. Never got the big one.
Yeah, I can understand Goldust.
But then you get TNA or Impact. It's the same company anyway. I think Austin Aries was the guy who started it, where he was the X Division champion. And he treated the X Division title like it was a Money in the Bank briefcase and cashed it in for a world title shot.
Yeah, that's such a good idea.
How good's that?
Having like Money in the Bank.
And
AJ Styles, I'm pretty sure, did the same thing. Or didn't do it the same way, but he was X Division and then used that as a springboard to become, the TNA champion.
it was almost like Impact got the idea right.
Mm.
Well, it's like fucking, winning Money in the Bank now is like more prestigious than holding the IC or the US strap.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Because you're guaranteed a fucking title shot holding a briefcase. But fucking, the IC strap and the US title, that means shit.
It was the first few times where it was like a high percentage you're going to win it. Now, people have lost with it. They've fucking had a stipulation where they've put their contract up for grabs and then lost it, which is such a shame that they're ruining the prestige of winning Money in the Bank.
But the same goes for the Royal Rumble. Up until, I think it was Mania 30, the winner of the Royal Rumble, no, it was Mania 29, the winner of the Royal Rumble got a main event title shot of the belt that they chose.
Mm.
And 9 times out of 10, every time until, I think, Mania 29 or 28, the winner of the Royal
Became
Rumble
champion.
won the championship at Mania.
Yep.
In the main event. And then I think it was I think it was 28 or 29 where Triple H won it. And Randy Orton was the champion, and in one of the most dull fucking matches ever, Randy Orton retained.
Mm.
Yeah.
So the prestige of even the Royal Rumble is gone.
The prestige of a lot of fucking history is fucking gone. I
It's-
mean, there's a lot of shit that WWE just doesn't do anymore.
And
When's the last time you had a time limit draw? Remember draws?
Yeah,
Remember
AEW
time
actually,
limits?
AEW has it.
yeah, they actually enforced that, which is really cool to see.
Good. Good to see, like, some shit hasn't fucking changed.
Well, I mean, if you look at the history of WWE, of WCW, WCW had the War Games match. And if you won War Games, you got a title shot at Starrcade.
Yep.
NXT does War Games just purely to end a faction versus faction feud.
Yeah.
The Royal Rumble, you win the Royal Rumble, you get a title shot at WrestleMania. And you win the title belt, or it used to be. Money in the Bank, you get the briefcase, you cash it in, you win the title. Or it used to be.
Usually.
Yeah, and I mean, then you've got the IC and US titles. I mean, nothing. And then you've got... Oh, God, I can't believe I've got to bring this thing up. You've got that heap of crap, just gimmick called the 24/7 Championship.
Yeah.
God, that thing and everything involved in it is an absolute joke. And it's only there because the USA Network said to WWE, you've got to do something to fix your ratings because this is shit.
So let's just not... So let's sack everybody. Not give prestige to either of our mid-card titles.
Just chuck all the jobbers and
And put-
run around.
Yeah, and then put the belts on one guy. And then he's going to fuck off all summer. Yeah, that should boost our ratings, yeah.
I
we've
mean,
got no tag teams left. All the good up and coming talent that could become tomorrow's superstars, we fired them. Roman Reigns, yeah, he's fucking been champion for almost 2 years. It's been 18 months.
at
you know.
least R-Truth, when he held the 24/7 title, was entertaining. Him
Where
and
is
Carmella
R-Truth?
actually did decent things. He's still running around with that group, but he's nowhere near as good as it once was because they just don't give him the time to actually do funny promos and shit anymore.
Yeah, because now we've got Reginald and Dana Brooke.
Yeah, which is
I
like,
mean,
who gives a
I
fuck?
like Dana Brooke. And Reginald is really cool at his flippy-dippy shit.
He should be like in the cruiserweights were such a good division when they actually had people in it. And
Yeah, but they got rid of all the
They got rid of them
cruiserweights.
all.
Because Vince McMahon doesn't want small people.
I
I
want
fucking
beef, pal.
Enzo Amore, when he was with the cruiserweights, actually elevated them, even though he was a dick. He at least elevated them and brought some semblance of, a feud.
Speaking
in
of
there.
Finn Balor, are we thinking he's going to stick around or are we thinking he's going to fuck off?
I think he's riding out his contract.
Yeah.
I think he's fucking gone as far as he could go under Vince's guys.
I'd love
If he
to see
fucking winds up in AEW, man,
100%.
they're going to push him to the fucking moon.
With the Bucks and that in there, 100 million
With the
percent. And Kenny,
Bucks, and he fucking better bring his demon gimmick with him.
he probably won't do the demon. He'll go to Bullet Club.
Yeah, he'll just do like his fucking, what is he, New Japan?
Yeah, well, New Japan and AEW.
Yeah, he'll just be Balor over there.
Well, they do have a pay-per-view coming up called The Forbidden Door, which is literally New Japan versus AEW.
Yeah. See, I'm glad fucking some promotions can fucking do that.
Well,
Yeah.
have you heard who on the current Impact roster WWE is keen on rehiring?
James Storm.
No.
Fuck's sake.
over on Impact, he's known as W. Morrissey.
Yeah, that's Kaz.
Big Kaz. They're talking about trying to bring Big Kaz back into WWE.
They want Big Kaz back, but they're not going to bring Enzo Amore.
No.
So what's the point?
It'll do the exact same thing he did before. Drop off the face of the earth. Good. No one will give a fuck about him because he can't cut a promo.
He'll be buried within 6 weeks, mate.
Actually, no. Sorry. I take that back.
Him and Madcap Moss can form. Him and fucking Happy Corbin can form this fucking shit tag team that does nothing.
And then they break him up.
Back,
Yeah.
Morrissey can actually cut an okay promo now. Like one of those super aggressive type. I'd say heel. Yeah.
Imagine if they try and bring back Matt Cardona now. I mean, he'd never go back, but
Woo.
woo woo woo.
Well, did you hear who has actually announced that they've retired from wrestling? They used to be known. They were known in Impact as the Inspiration, the former Iconics.
Yeah, Billy Kay and Peyton.
Both of them.
Both of them retired on the exact same day.
Yep.
Aw.
I think one of them's going into modelling, if I'm not mistaken, which is definitely a
It's
good move.
probably
That's
Peyton Royce.
Fine by me.
Yeah.
I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I mean, they're Aussies. They were funny on a promo,
They could cut a fucking promo.
but in the ring, Peyton Royce was crap.
Yeah, Billy was the better one out of the two
Yeah.
for sure.
The crowning moment was winning the tag straps in fucking Melbourne. That was cool. That was the Super Show.
That was the Super Show.
That was fucking so
No, they
good.
didn't win the tag straps.
Yeah,
They didn't win them until WrestleMania.
No,
Because
man.
they didn't
won
have
the-
the tag straps yet. It was
No, no,
Murphy. Murphy
they just won the match.
Murphy
Yeah.
won the cruiserweight belt at Super Show.
They just won the match. They didn't. There was no
Ah.
straps. Murphy won the strap.
Then
and
they
got
wound
a
up winning the
massive
straps
belt.
at Mania. was
Mania.
Yeah, Mania.
Because the belts weren't made until February.
it?
Yep.
Ah.
And it was Sasha and Bailey that won them. And then a
Inaugural
month later, they had to drop them to the Iconics because apparently Sasha Banks threw a tantrum backstage.
That doesn't sound like her.
But when it comes to the women's division, I mean, look, I'm really sick of the entire women's division being based around Bailey, Banks, Becky, and Bitchy.
Charlotte. And
It's
Charlotte.
like the 4 Bs.
You've got fucking and Ronda now, I guess.
You got Ronda.
Charlotte.
Dewdrop can fucking wrestle, and her name needs to be Piper Niven.
Nikki.
Needs to drop the superhero
What's
gimmick.
her fucking last name?
ASH.
Shit.
No, her
Nikki Cross.
Nikki Cross. She needs to go back to being Nikki Cross. She can actually go in the ring.
No way, she's not superhero in training. What's she?
Natty?
It can't be SHIT. No.
It's like Shotzi Blackheart. She can wrestle.
There's a lot of wrestlers they let go, man.
Yeah.
Like proper wrestlers that can wrestle.
Instead, we keep getting, like, Bianca Belair cannot talk on a microphone.
Yeah, but
It
she can
just
fucking
sounds
go.
this warbling mess as my phone goes off yet again.
Every podcast.
Every time.
Can you just not hit the vibrate button before you hit record? No. No, you fucking can't. It's
No,
for those playing at home.
no,
It's just,
no one else sets up the microphones, do they?
what?
No. Right. I set up the microphones and all this stuff and get all this stuff ready to record.
It's true.
Yeah, everyone else just kicks back and goes, "Oh, go to the toilet."
Yeah. Your garden is so green because of me.
Yeah, they're all Lorraine.
Absolutely.
It's almost as green as Omos.
He's just got efficient weed killer.
Or dead. Depending on how much alcohol I've had.
I've got to poison the grass down the backyard anyway, so
Alright, I'll come over on like after Magic Round.
there's a lot there.
Yeah, there'll be a lot there too.
It's all right. We got a bottle around the corner.
Oh, but
Moving right along.
But like Lacey Evans is back now. Apparently, she's ditched the Southern Belle gimmick.
I didn't
is
mind that gimmick.
Yeah, but she's now going to be a baby face with focusing on her military career.
So like a
because she's a legit Marine.
like John Cena sort of without the rap.
Think more like a cross between John Cena and Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh yeah.
So,
So it's Sergeant Cena.
something like that, yeah.
She's gonna come out in like military fucking.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see it already.
So she's gonna look like General Aziz.
Military cargo pants and obviously something nice and hot to make
tank
her
top.
look like a woman.
A tank top.
Yeah. But they're not
But
going
like a camo tank top.
But then she's
with
not.
with the sergeant.
But she's not going to shave her head, so she's not going to look like Jada Pinkett Smith.
Hey, Will
I had
Smith
to
would
get
come over
that
and
one in
slap
there.
you.
I had to get. Oh fuck, Will Smith. Go back and make another fucking Bad Boys movie, you dickhead.
It's all right. I mean, aren't they going to get divorced soon anyway?
Yep. Good on him.
You cucked, and now you're going to get divorced.
You know, Will Smith sits there and says to Chris Rock to keep his wife's name out of his mouth, but it didn't stop her from keeping someone else's dick out of her mouth.
Oof.
Facts is facts, mate. Facts is facts. But, yeah, I mean, look at all the people at WWE have let go. I mean, they let go of Tegan Nox. Like, she was solid in the ring. Her only thing was she kept fucking up her knees.
Yeah, that's sort of vital for when you want to be athletic.
True. You know, Toni Storm walked out, but I did actually see an interview with Toni Storm, and she said, look, I realised I didn't want to be there. And she said, I told them straight, I don't want to be here, and I'm taking up a spot of someone who does actually want to be here. And she said, I actually left on good terms with the company because I was honest with them.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a lot of fucking people that get in WWE. They go in, and it's great for the first 3-4 months. And then they hit a ceiling, and then it's fucking up to Vince how far you go from there.
Yeah.
So, you know, Toni Storm seemed like she was on her way up.
Yeah, talent will only get
And
you
then
so
she-
far.
And then she fucking hit a ceiling, and
Yeah, that ceiling was Charlotte Flair.
that's as far as she fucking went. And I think she knew she was never going to be a long-term
And
champion.
now she's in AEW having a feud with Jamie Hayter and Dr. Britt Baker, MD.
And
DMD.
who's she tagged with?
Ruby Riott.
Yeah, Ruby Riott. So to
Or Ruby
WWE.
Soho.
Yeah, which Ruby's awesome too.
Yeah. But, I mean, Asuka has only just come back. Asuka's been ready for a couple of months.
Mm.
And Alexa Bliss, they did this big build-up to bring her back for Elimination Chamber. Does the match. And then we're only seeing her back the day after this pay-per-view. Obviously, she went and got married, much to JB's disappointment. But I will admit, though, it's nice to see that they finally listened and ditched that piss-weak attempt at...
With no explanation. Didn't even fucking explain it. Because the Fiend's gone.
No, they ran vignettes leading up to Elimination Chamber.
That she was coming back as her normal self.
Yeah, because she was going to a psychiatrist.
Fuck me dead.
And the Fiend left, so she lost all her power, you know?
Yeah. And now there's rumours coming around that they're going to rehire Bray Wyatt anyway later on in the year.
I don't think he will. I don't
No,
think he'll
I-
accept it. I think
no.
he'll tell him to piss
Bray
off.
Wyatt was like fucking trying so hard with the fucking Fiend gimmick to like go in his own direction the way CM Punk used to. And WWE just kept fucking putting him back in this fucking
Yeah, well,
lane.
him and Vince used to butt heads all the time.
Mm.
They just never let him be creative, and now I can't believe he's not with AEW.
I mean, look at the shit. I think he's just doing his own thing for the moment.
He's actually working on a horror movie.
Cool.
Like, see, even the WrestleMania match he had with Cena was super entertaining because it was just one of those. What's the type of match?
That
Oh,
was
the
just-
cinematic match.
Cinematic match, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
just fucking. That was more homage to fucking John Cena's career than anything else.
Yeah, it was
But-
just funny.
But thing was, even that got overshadowed by the AJ Undertaker
Yeah.
cinematic match.
AJ
that
Undertaker
was that was
Great.
awesome.
That was badass. That's a good way for Taker to fucking hang his head up too.
Yeah. I mean, he even came out, like his entrance music was Now That We're Dead by Metallica.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
On the bike.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was fucking badass.
And
I didn't come out to roll in fucking negative 2 stars.
on a side note, in WWE 2K22, I think there's 5 different versions of The Undertaker. There's like 9 different versions of Rey Mysterio.
This one's got broken knees. This one's got broken knees. This one's just had back surgery.
This one's got
Oh,
no
this was
mask.
the Eddie Guerrero thing. This is WCW with fucking no mask on.
It's okay, Johnny.
There's no version with Eddie's mask.
Oh,
It's okay, Johnny. I'm your puppy now.
I'm your
They
daddy.
do that version of him. And they've got 2 different versions of Eddie Guerrero.
Face and heel.
WCW
Mullet,
and WWE.
mullet and not
Mullet,
mullet.
no mullet.
Mullet and no
yeah,
mullet.
yeah.
Bladed and no bladed.
Holmes.
It's there, Holmes. Do you a deal and some good wheels, Holmes. But I mean, Taker in the game, like there's current Taker, cinematic match Taker, American Badass Taker, Ministry Taker, 1995 had his face smashed in Taker. Oh god, there's another version of Taker, and you're just like, oh, for fuck's sake, how many versions of them do we really need?
How many versions of Chris Benoit are there?
I downloaded one.
Just the one.
Just the one. Like Ric Flair's in there. There's two different versions of Hogan.
I thought they fucked.
NWA and
It's-
Red
it's-
and Yellow.
Yeah.
It's weird how they've like blacklisted those guys, but they're still in the game.
Yeah. There's three different versions of Kevin Nash.
Is there fucking two different versions of Goldberg?
It'll be
No,
Diesel,
there's only one version of Goldberg.
So there's not young Goldberg, it's just old Goldberg.
Yeah, it's Oldberg.
Diesel, White and Black, and Red and Black.
Diesel, NWO, and Outsiders.
Yeah.
Same as there's three versions of Scott Hall. Razor, NWO, and Outsiders.
Outsiders, yeah.
There's two different versions of X-Pac. There's
1, 2, 3 Kid.
No. There's 6. Yeah, NWO
Yeah.
and X-Pac DX.
Oh, really? It doesn't have fucking. Is it 1, 2, 3 Kid? Dynamite
No,
Kid.
doesn't have 1, 2,
1, 2,
3.
3.
They've got Jeff Hardy in the game.
They have Matt Hardy in the game?
No, I had to download him.
So you can't play as the Hardy Boys. Feels bad, man.
Oh, I downloaded Matt Hardy and make an entrance.
Is Christian in the game?
No.
For fuck's sake, you
Edge
can't
is,
have
though.
ENC.
Oh, I downloaded Christian.
Why the fuck can't they just keep them in the Illuminati fucking section? Who gives a fuck?
'Cause they
Who's-
work
Christian
for the-
signed with AEW.
Who
Yeah.
fucking cares? He's an Illuminati.
Yeah, Tony
Is-
Storm's in the game.
Is Sting in the game?
No.
For fuck's sake.
Because he's currently rostered to AEW.
Yeah.
So AEW's going to come out with this awesome fucking game.
Tegan Knox is in the game.
Their game's looking pretty good, actually.
The game
AEW's.
actually looks alright.
Apparently it's gone way over budget, and they've been having problems between the studio and Kenny Omega.
Yeah, because Kenny's in charge of it, and he's an avid gamer himself, and a fighting game, like, very good at fighting games himself.
But apparently the game is out in September. So I
interesting.
will
Who's
go and
running it?
pre-order.
Is it Ukes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Ukes.
Cool, yeah. Fucking, they might actually make a decent game.
Well,
Yeah, they used to make the old ones.
apparently it's going to be like the old Nintendo 64 ones.
Yep.
So it's going to be simple.
Yeah,
He's simple.
but it's going to have better graphics.
Are we sure about that?
It's going to be
Yes.
like WWE Battleground.
Now on mobile. WWE Supercards.
Now on mobile and PS5.
Get your fucking cards and battle them for some reason.
With your friends in high school.
With your
Buy
friends.
card packs now for only $10.
Remember when we used to do this with Pokemon cards for real? No. No, because every kid's got an iPhone and they're 8. We don't need
Man,
real
when I
cards.
was in high school, man, we had Tamagotchis.
And my,
Remember Tarzos?
my kid's 4 and
No.
he's got an iPad. Problem?
I mean, I'm just making a point.
I'm going to do a shout out to my mate Wit. So in '98, I was still in high school. So yes, I'm old. Fuck you.
Yes, he is.
But he was very WCW. I was very WWF. And we sat there instead of doing an exam. I think we'd finished the exam anyway. But we came up with a list of like the entire roster. And then on our lunch break, we'd sit there and say, oh, this person, this versus this person, who would win? You know, that was entertainment for us. Because we didn't quite have Creator Wrestler in wrestling games yet, except for WWF Warzone. And that game sucked. Right. So, I'm going to give the pay-per-view, because we might as well get back to the pay-per-view and finish off the pay-per-view.
We went down a big tangent.
No, but I mean, we don't get to talk about the news items very often.
Because we're
It's
usually
not even
talking.
news items, it's just wrestling in general.
Because we're usually talking about the main, about the actual pay per view for like 2 hours.
About how good
Pretty
Roman
much.
Reigns is. And how
Or it's normally a rant about Jesus Christ.
Vince
the women
McMahon
need
is
to be
out of touch.
Yeah, pretty much. So I gave this pay-per-view 4 out of 5 cheese graters. I thought, like there was 2 real duds on the pay-per-view, but the other 4 matches really sort of kept it going and kept it on a higher standard. I know a lot of people online have sat there and said, oh, it's just a glorified episode of Raw. if that's your idea of a glorified episode of Raw, you need to watch Raw.
Yeah, Raw's not that good, mate.
Yeah,
For the entire 3 hours.
you know, that felt like in the Attitude Era when they had the pay-per-views between the big pay-per-views where they'd sit there and actually build up
Yeah, like Judgment Day.
storylines. You know, or No Way Out or something like that. You know, they'd do something.
Planting little seeds.
Yeah. So I gave it 4 out of 5. JB, how many cheese grays would you give it?
Yeah, 3.5. I think there were 2 matches that dragged it down, but the rest of the pay-per-view was good. I fucking, some good matches. Some
Match of the night?
The main event, but and it sets up Hell in a Cell brilliantly. And I'm not going to watch Raw or SmackDown for the next fucking month until the next pay-per-view, so they can do whatever the fuck they want on weekly television.
So you gave it 3.5?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shay?
I'll give it 4. Those matches were pretty solid. Exactly the same as you said, Phil. There were 2 matches that brought it down. Homos being the biggest one. But anyway.
I mean, if you went off how we ranked these matches, the Omos match would have dragged the aggregate right down. But the simple fact that it's given us something funny to laugh at, and it's brought us joy at their pain, has sort of gratified it.
Yeah, every pay-per-view has to have a stinker, and that's it.
That wasn't a stinker, mate. That was a fresh turd that my dog does in the backyard. And then someone stood in it.
Yeah.
It was just...
But yeah, I'll give it definitely a 4. Match of the night, I'd say for me actually was the Cody and Seth match. The last match was also very, very good, very close second. But yeah, very enjoyable. I enjoyed it. And it's good to see that Ripley is finally heel again. She plays a much better heel than a face, in my opinion. She plays a good anti-hero as well, but I much like to see her as a heel.
Yeah, she's more goth than ever now.
Exactly.
I was already goth, now I'm like super goth. It's not
She's
a
go-
phase, Mom.
She's going to start writing poetry.
Not a phase, Mom. I'm writing poetry. Doing artwork, like really deep artwork.
She's writing poetry and making finger sandwiches.
So she's going to do
And
poetry,
all my lights in my room are black lights.
Works at Starbucks.
poetry in motion.
Just going to make coffee-flavored coffee.
I like my coffee like I like my life. Black.
Right, so we're gonna pull it up now, but thank you everyone for joining in for the Stop the Damn Match episode 10.
Yeah, it's been a couple since I've been on, and hopefully my fucking ramblings have been just as incoherent as usual.
Yes.
We missed you.
Thanks, guys.
We missed you, Johnny.
It's good to be back.
We'll probably be back in a few weeks for Hell in a Cell. And then after that is, I think it's Forbidden Door. AEW Forbidden Door.
Yes, definitely keen to see that.
And I think JB might be joining us for that one too.
Gonna join us for an AEW pay-per-view. Are you feeling okay?
I mean, I missed Mania, so I can miss whatever the fuck I want from this point. But
They can't.
I'll
You're contractually obligated.
I'll endeavour to make an appearance.
So you'll be here. Stop being a sookie bitch and just show up. Right. Well, on behalf of JB and Seamus, thank you for tuning in this episode. We'll see you in a few weeks for Hell in a Cell. Until then, it is goodbye.
Bye.